fight started just before I get into the ring. For me, the fight started when I just wrapped up the laces of my boxing boots. I put my mouth guard in, I'm wrapping my hands, I'm shadow boxing. I start to warm up on the pads with my coach. It takes about 30 minutes. I need about 30 minutes to get warmed up. I need my heart rate to peak twice before I'm ready. I know my warm up, I know my body. It's a science. When I'm ready, usually about 2 rounds to go on the previous fight, I walk out towards the ring. And then I hear my name called out. At that moment, I'm the most nervous I've ever been. At that moment in time, I could puke, I could quit, I could walk back to the changing room and throw the towel in the ring. I'm done. I'm that close. I'm nervous. But I get into the ring. My name's called out, I get into the ring. And then it's just me, my opponent, the ref, 4 corners of a ring, the crowd fades. The world could be burning for all I care. I don't have any regard for what's happening outside the ring. All I can hear is my coach's voice. And then it's on, then it's game time. Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters, Mr. Toastmaster, and our wonderful guests, Tanya, Quinton, Dinesh, awesome that you're here. Today I'd like to share with you a moment in my life when failure had me in its grips. And I'd also like to share with you what I've learnt from those experiences. There are a number of them. And it may come as a surprise to you, but fighting in the ring, it didn't scare me to get hit. That feeling when your lungs are burning, that didn't scare me. Getting tired didn't scare me at all. What scared me was a fear of failure. After almost 50 fights, I had 50 fights in the ring. Getting to the end of that period of time, the results really started to matter because I was fighting in tournaments where I was going to be selected for the New Zealand team or not. I was going to be selected for the Olympic team or not. There was one time when I was even selected for the New Zealand team to compete at the Olympics and I was unselected. Life isn't fair, I kept saying. It's not fair that I don't get the decision. And then I was reminded, yeah, life isn't fair. I put so much of my self-identity to being this strong and powerful athlete that after a weekend of fighting, I'd come back to the gym or I'd come back to my family, my friends, and I'd say, yeah, I didn't get the decision. But because I'd placed myself on such a high tier and I had such high expectations of myself and I didn't get the win, what kind of loser did that make me? I was so worried about what other people thought. It got to the point where that fear of failure it held me back immensely. I felt like I was in a straitjacket, like I couldn't let my arms go, I couldn't let my body move. I couldn't do what I'd been training to do for twice a day, 6 days a week for 10 years. I just couldn't do it. I was like this. The point in boxing is to gain points, to hit and not get hit. But I wasn't hitting at all. I was holding myself back. It was horrible. Then I retired. 6 months later, I decided I'm going to go to the Netherlands. I'm going to start another journey. I really wanted to discover what it was like feeling Dutch, being Dutch. I wanted to learn my language. I wanted to get in touch with my culture. What does it actually mean to be Dutch? And so I gave myself the challenge. I gave myself the challenge to fail often. Fail often. For someone who fears failure, failing often was such an opposing feeling. On the one hand, feeling fear and failure, and the other hand, allowing myself the courage to get out there and to learn the language. It also presented some really interesting interactions. There was a time when I was taking a boxing class and I confused the word second floor for window, it's a larger, I even forget the word now, for shop window. So I said to my people, "Go, come on, grab your gear and we'll head into the shop window to box." And everyone's looking at me going, "What?" Or I introduced myself and I said, "Hi, nice to meet you." And actually what I was saying is, "Nice to partner you." And so I realised that when I got some confused looks and some, say that again, I was actually choosing the wrong word. And that's okay, because what I realised is that those interactions gave me direction, but I also I met some really good people, really interesting people. And a lot of those people I had those interesting interactions with, they became my friends. So challenging that fear of failure allowed me to live more, try more, experience more, because it gave me the feedback of where I can improve and how I can improve. And instead of my focus being winning, the learning was actually, or the focus became learning. What can I learn from that experience? What can I learn from that attempt? I also started to realise that failure is not the opposite of success, it's the part of success. So to conclude, whether or not your ring is your work, your family, your sport, life in general, allow failure to be your teacher. Because true failure is not trying at all. True failure is not getting in the ring at all. So fail often. Thank you very much.